Hello there gang, Devere here. Just playing a little bit of LUCIUS, so I thought I'd pop together a quick video of gameplay for the channel. So what do we get? Options. Not a great amount. You do have rebindable keys, which is good. Obviously, we know that. So let's just dive on in with a pick one of the missions. Let's do this one. That way we avoid the rather tedious slow opening. So of course, as you can tell from our character, we are of course the spawn of Satan. Although this early in the game we don't have a lot of satanic powers. This gives you clues. With a switch my heart can glow. Remove the darkness from head to toe. It gives you a little hint as to what is needed to be done.
Did you know Jed is in the house? You should say hi to him.
Oh yes, let's say hi to Jed. Why Jed's of any importance to me, I've no idea. So it's basically a sort of a bit like a hitman. Find a target and eliminate them. To sacrifice their soul to the dark ones. And here's Jed. Music's a tad bombastic.
Hello, Lucius. You know you should be.
So our notebook. There are people we've already sent on their way on the grand journey. Jed, he's working here with raw meat. I should find a way to mess with him. Their chores you see here are things you get given to do throughout the game, and you get these little rewards for doing them. So here's one of our powers. We don't have many at this early point of the game, and when our powers aren't very strong. Let's just quickly here. Oh, hang on, you can still see me.
What the hell? Why that damn lamp explode? How can I use a sword?
I think the janitor was changing lamps earlier. So there's one of the issues, he's picking up and...
Lucius, go and find me some new lamps, will you?
It means light bulbs. It's picking things up. This mansion, the layout of it is... Yeah, it's quite frustrating, to say the least. And things all look like... There's a lot of little physics objects and props hanging around, stuff like this, and lots of drawers to open, so when you're trying to find things, that can be a frustration. As can navigating the entire mansion. It's such a wacky layout. Not in a good way. So luckily, as I say, I've already picked up those items. Savings dealt with by completing each mission. So anything you've got with you will be saved. Here's the next thing, is your inventory. The interface, very cumbersome. Which one's like? Oh, I won't buy it. There we go. So now we've got a hand icon, we've got a light bulb. That should give it to Jed here.
Lucius, go and find me some new lamps, will you?
I'll take this one.
Keep working here. Get me some new lamps, Lucius.
Oh, yes, you've got to right click first. So basically you have 4 stages to every killing. He's climbed on top of the saw. This is my chance. So back to our psychic powers. At the moment, that's all we've got is the telekinesis. So yeah, for your dark infernal powers, there's no wailing banshees, no making walls bleed, no plague of rats, no screaming, tortured, wailing old ladies and crones calling out in forgotten tongues as I pass by. Yeah, none of that. None of that at all. Well, that's this video demonetised. Now our powers have grown.
This situation is ridiculous, Mr. Wagner, and I'm holding off the Bureau from launching an inquiry. I'm posting a deputy at the house. It's more for your own protection.
I wish I could explain these as more than accidents, but I can't think of a motive. I can't imagine how anyone could have gotten away with this.
We'll get to the bottom of it. Just consider this house on lockdown until something comes up. It wasn't a pretty sight. Heads sawn in half and blood everywhere. These freak accidents were keeping me up at night. 4 deaths in 4 months, all apparent accidents. But I had my doubts. I still had no clear suspects, no motives, no way to even start an investigation. At this point, I was only sure about one thing. It was not going to end here. I was right about that. Another month went by when we got the call to go back to the house, but this time it was different. This time, it was murder.
Yes, Detective MacGuffin. I'm not making that name up. That's what they've actually called him. Detective MacGuffin. Oh dear. Yeah, you know, in hindsight, I should have perhaps given a warning to anyone who's squeamish about that cutscene that was coming up, rather than doing it now or after we've watched a cutscene. Oh well, we live, we learn. What's our clue for today? Rodents don't like me, they die if they taste me. Well, that's poison, obviously. Yeah, it's not the most technically advanced game. Luckily, the map will show you who we need to go to speak to next, if you're ever unsure of where you're going. I need to go this way. So, I mean, it sounds like it should be good. A stealth assassin-styled game where you play with the dark forces. Something about navigating this place. It's do you want me to go down or up? Up. I mean, it looks nice enough. It is a fairly big area to explore if you want to go wandering around. But things like this, it just feels like a lot of time missed opportunities. It's locked up. So, for example, my psychic powers, my telekinesis, I can't use it on this lamp or anything. You can't use it to mess with people's heads. And you thought being a spawn of Satan, this should be quite... Yeah, it just feels like a missed... Oh, yeah, because you've got to put it back into hand mode to interact with doors and physical objects. It's not the most fluid and user-friendly interface, in all honesty. Nope, back that way. Oh yes, I know who it is now.
What are you doing here? I'm busy. I don't have time for you right
So it's Agnes's time to die. Dispatching all these sinners and fornicators, adulterers, and other foul sinners and miscreants. So it sounds like it should be good, but no, it's very linear. Very linear.
Clean up, bring her food, go do everything.
So there's a little clue as to what to do.
Okay, sir.
Oh, you'll
There's
get yours.
nothing to be afraid of.
Sinner. So yeah, it's just, to be honest, it's just very average. By far and away, the highlight of the game is the cutscenes of the killings. Or some of them. They're not all... Oops. Come on, switch it round. Anywhere there's holy artifacts, of course, your power gets zapped. So yeah, it just feels like a bit of a wasted opportunity, but the demonic powers you do get, if you can call them that, are very limited. There is no sort of free-forming your own levels of destruction. Every killing has basically 4 stages. And that's your lot, really. Right, what was affecting my power in there? Ah, you. Absolutely nobody notices a 6-year-old constantly removing religious artefacts. Ah, this way, that's it. It also has some stealth element, or tries to do some stealth elements later on, which are also quite frustrating. Ah, that's what I'm looking for. Hello, sinner.
Agnes told me to get rid of these bloody rats before Thanksgiving. I'd like to see her getting up off her fat arse and try it.
Rat poison. I can't take it because they will know it was me. I need to come here when everyone else is sleeping. So basically go back to the bedroom and carry on. And it carries on from there.
Keeps bossing people around.
Yes, yes, yes. Wine to somebody who cares. Not a 6-year-old boy, that's for sure. My understanding of the adult world would be very limited, one would assume. There's also a few bugs and glitches. Be careful out in this garden. You can get jammed in a few places of some of these bits like here can end up trapping you. Luckily it's checkpoint based, so you can restart again. It's not the end of the world. There are some bugs and glitches, especially with the physics engine. Hello, somebody's affecting my satanic rites. There we go. I mean, the voice acting at least is pretty good, even if the names are mostly terrible, like MacGuffin. I'm going to guess they were not native English speakers, whoever is the company behind this game. You would not have picked a name like that otherwise. The audio is at least decent. You went to sleep so you can wake up in the middle of the night. And nobody inquired after my health and well-being for the entire day. Woke up in the night, blah blah blah, we know that. Your mother still seems to be awake. Don't let her see you. Oh, don't worry, mother will get hers as well. See here, if you could have used your psychic powers to distract people, your satanic powers like telekinesis, and use that as a stealth element, that would have been quite interesting. There's the other thing, all these things to open and that, and there's never really anything in them. I should really have been listening for her footsteps. Oh well, I think. Ah, yes, she's opened the way, jolly good. I do have a flashlight as well if I need it. Oops. And the AI can be a bit wacky as well. Good, she's parked herself in there staring into the wall again. That's what we want at the moment. If we go on our quest for death. Oops, hello. There's a... And see here, now for this one specific light, I'm able to call upon the dark, cursed powers of souls damned for eternal damnation, but nowhere else.
Someone there.
There's no real stealthing. And there's our rat poison. See, no one's still coming in to check on the well-being of the child. With this rat poison, we'll let her know that happens if you break one of the cardinal sins. Of course, it's gluttony in her case. And let's be honest, looking at her, it's hardly going to be the sin of fornication or adultery, is it?
Hey, guapo. I don't really have time for you right now. Agnes is waiting for me.
Oh, and there's also some digital jiggy later in the game, if that's your thing. As funny as that is to watch, just for that scene alone I would have brought judgment to all these wicked sinners. A child having to witness that kind of thing. No wonder he turned out a bit of a wrong'un. I don't want to go back to Alistair, do I? Yeah. Oh right, we're already on the rat poison. Good show. Put it away. Don't get the evidence out in front of witnesses, idiot.
Clean up, bring her food, go do everything at the same time. Now I know why Mary was
I wonder if
always...
whining's a sin, because a lot of them in this house would be judged for that alone. Right, a basket for the bread. The item has been used correctly. So yeah, it's just a bit of a wasted opportunity. It's not a terrible game, not by any stretch of the imagination. Definitely the death scenes, I mean, some of them are a bit weak like this one. So yeah, that was a bit of a cop out, that one. You've gained a new ability, mind control. We'll just skip this, I think.
This is a clear case of poisoning, and I need to interview everyone. The autopsy showed that she was poisoned. Who prepares the food? After questioning everyone in the house, it seemed nearly all of them had some reason to dislike her. Jovita, the Latina maid, was the one who brought food to her. But this wasn't enough to press charges. I had no evidence of tampering.
Yeah, we'll jump that. Because we're just about to get around to concluding our dealings about here. And that apparently is Satan.
Ah, my boy, such prodigious results.
Or Lucifer.
I am thoroughly impressed with you.
Oh, give me some.
I have something else to teach you. You have the ability deep inside you to look into people's minds and tell them what to do. Let's unlock this ability together.
Give me something a bit more dark and potent.
Instructions. Oh, very good.
So now,
That's my boy.
again, very limited. Very underwhelming Satan as well. You get him to pick things up, but you won't use that very often either. So really the biggest selling point of this game is the death scenes. Your satanic demonic powers are relatively underwhelming. The map layout is quite frustrating, especially when it comes to picking up lots of items. That could also be quite the pain finding them, as there's lots of little physics props around here. So as I say, it's not a terrible game, but it definitely was a bit of a missed opportunity. Luckily, as you know, there is Lucius 2 and Lucius 3 that's just been recently released. It goes some way to addressing some of these issues. But so, yeah, it's not terrible. It's a few bugs and glitches aside. It's well enough done for a play, but it was definitely one of those games that it could have been a lot better, but isn't terrible. So yeah, we'll conclude our dealings here, gang. Lucius. Satanic 666, the Omen and all that. Worth it if you've got the time spare. So then again, thanks for taking time to watch the video. Hope you found it useful and entertaining in some way. Bringing these filthy fornicators to justice always is good for a laugh as well, you know. So as ever, don't forget to like, comment, subscribe to let me know you're alive. And I shall see you all next time. Bye now.